Okay, so now we're at Mother Mary, and she's sharing her experience, because she's like, you know, I was doing my thing. I thought it was going to be great. I thought I was going to be able to kind of be my own person. For a little while it was great, and I was just feeling amazing. But then it was like something strange happened one day. There was an individual who was coming in, and we see it's FKA Twigs. She's up and coming. She's kind of like taking on these different like nurturing roles of mentoring these other, you know, up and coming singers and performers. And it's FKA Twigs, who we know helped with the music, who helped with some of the character design for Mother Mary, because I could see so much of FKA Twigs in this role. Performance, the songs, all of it. Anne Hathaway looks amazing. Oh, she looks fantastic. FKA Twigs in her role is like, you know, I'm just trying to understand, because there's all this energy that's coming towards you and you're just receiving it. It's all pinpointed towards you. How do you handle that? What do you do with it? And she was like, oh, you know, I just take a deep breath and I just, and she was like, but doesn't it start to destroy you? Doesn't it start to like overwhelm you from the inside? And we don't get a response from that, which, you know, I think is starting to hint at there's an unraveling that's beginning to happen, because there's something I've talked about when it comes to when you are someone who is very creative, when we step into the role of creator, and we all do it in many different ways, whether it's at our jobs or literally creating life with children, or nurturing life with being a caretaker. You know, we all create something in some way. We are creating ourselves in every moment. But sometimes the thing that we are creating is something that is supposed to be held by us, and we must be able to connect with ourselves and our containers, our physical bodies, so that we are able to be strong enough to be able to carry this through. And there are some things that are meant to be held by multiple people, by groups and things of that nature, because they're so large in magnitude. The amount of energy that FKA Twigs' character is speaking about is the kind that's like, this is not really something that can be held by one person, which is why there was also the importance of the partnership between Sam and Mother Mary, was because it was not one person holding all of the energy. You know, Anne Hathaway talked about the weight, but she really wasn't carrying the weight alone. She was sharing it. And when she lost that, we begin to see the deterioration of the creation. Then we see, you know, they're at this hotel later, and this is the Ouija board scene, and Anne Hathaway's character is in it. Mother Mary is into it, and everyone else is very skeptical. There's one who looks like her main manager, and she's very like, seems very practical, very logical, down to earth. She's really not here for any of this foolishness, but Mother Mary is very into it. She really wants to, she believes that something else is happening here, and that this, she sees the light in FKA Twigs' character. So FKA Twigs is just, you know, doing her thing. But there's the beauty of the scene. And she says this phrase, this is an opening. Mother Mary says, can I say it too? So she teaches her how to say it. So now there's, again, this tandem, this energy of holding and sharing of the energy. And the way I see FKA Twigs' character is like a hierophant, which is the Pope or a channel between worlds, but also as a psychopomp, right? So if this is an exploration of individuality or individuation through a Jungian lens, then the psychopomp is the one who comes through and kind of helps guide the process, guides the soul or the spirit or the ego as it goes through the individuation consciousness as it goes through this process. And I think one of the main symbols that kind of emphasizes this is that FKA Twig turns down the lights and lights a match. Often psychopomps are associated with lanterns. The Hermit in Tarot, Hecate, Papa Legba, any of these energies that are kind of connected to this idea of carrying the light. And through the light, she's able to open the door and express what is happening. And she is this person who can go in between the worlds. And so she's like, we have to open the door, because I believe the spirits are already here. We just have to be open to them. And, you know, Mother Mary is like, oh yeah, I'm open, I'm so creative. But she's not truly open yet. But FKA Twigs is going to open her up. And that's what we see happening next, because she has the key to open the door through this specific saying, and Mother Mary says it with her. And so we get the chanting that's going on, and the voice, the music is often a way to connect us to spirits. When we think of hoodoo, voodoo, chanting in churches, we think of mantras. These words and these songs and the way that we utilize music to connect us to something beyond who we are, into something in another world, in another space. And so their voices come together and open this door. And then there's a funny little moment, but then we see the FKA Twigs. She's now what I would call being ridden by a spirit. And she's conveying the message of the spirit prompted by Mother Mary. And she's letting her know there's someone, she is coming. She is coming. She has traveled from very far. Her legs are tired. Her feet are worn. And she is here and on her way. And then she moves towards FKA Twigs. And there's this beautiful moments that happen because you see the reflection of the lights, the fire. And it makes these circles with her eyes, so she's lit up from within, and you can tell image that's conveying that there is another spirit that is here in that space with her. Mother Mary is then like, oh, okay, she's having this moment, she's having this experience, I want to know what the spirit is. And then she says, but we have to open you up, and she cuts her. The FKA Twigs cuts Mother Mary down her, and it's a large deep gash. She's opened her, physically opened her up. And so now Mother Mary is like, okay, everybody's coming down and all these other things. And she goes and gets into the bathtub and she's like, she's thinking this is going to be it. I want to rest too, but I can't because I keep hearing she's coming, she's coming, she's coming. And she's in the bathtub and she's got her hand bandaged. And then we see this image of the red fabric floating by and coming and resting over the bathtub. It's all dark. The bathtub is white. She's got a white cloth over her eyes and the red is over her head. And then it's starting to sink down and everything turns red. And then she's reaching up and the fabric touches into the gash, the opening that's been made on her hand. And so now a part of her has been touched with the spirit. Now remember though, the spirit is something that came from the blood of Michaela, Coel, of Sam, as she sat in this pain. It is her pain, it is her rage, it is her anger, it is her confusion, it is all